Good Imam, Samson Arlobe, VS Criminal. Today, I am reporting about CA200 Correctional Institution, Module 4. Module 4. First, Lesson 4. Institutional Based Correction, Structure Management Standards Program and Service in the Philippines. To system-based approach to correction. The Bureau of Correction, RA 10575, Custody, Security and Control of Prisoners, Care and Treatment of Prisoners, Release of Prison, Good Conduct, Time Allowance, GCTA, Prohibit Arts Subject, Disciplinary Action, BGMP, Republic Act 6975, Republic Act 9263, Treatment of Special Needs or Unusual Offenders, Emergency, Plans, Movement, Transfer of Prisoners, Detained, Privilege of Detained and Sentenced Prison, the Regional Rehabilitation Centers for Youth, the Child and Youth Welfare Code, the Death Row and the Roar of the Right of Amparo. Institutional based correction. Institutional correction facilities include prison and jails. Prisons are state of federal housing facilities that confine convicted felons with sentences typically longer than year. Jails are administered by local law enforcement and hold those with shorter sentence, usually for 1 year or less, and those awaiting trial. National Institute of Justice in your research and development program responds to the needs of correction part- practitioners and to the changing nature of correctional facilities at the state and local level. Understanding the impact of technology in improving staff and safety and the safety of the incarcerated individuals and how state the and federal iglesia legislation affects safety and security and administration of policies and procedures. Institutional and community-based correction. Institutional-based correction among the forces that have affected corrections in recent years, according acceleration and popularization have been among the most influential. The future of correction will be affected by everything from the national economy and current public opinion to the drug debate, crime, and again of prison population. The trends that will continue to impact corrections are intermediate sentencing alternatives, restorative justice, more pragmatic treatment, regionalization of jails, and direct supervision unit management strategy, community-based correction. Community-based correction agencies exist in an institutional environment where maintaining legitimacy is essential for organization success. Maintaining legitimacy has emerged as the even more silent issue in recent times given the current economic state. Eric would state that the growing number of offenders who are incarcerated who are incarcerated after their unsuccessful termination from community supervision represent a prominent threat to be legitimacy of community-based correction organization relationship between revocation trends and and enhanced legitimacy by mitigating the effects of community corrections failures are addressed. WUDA. Correctional organization is discussed on the level of internal institution structure, overall institutional system structure, and coordinate criminal justice system planning and control, included the personnel, facility design, and administrative questions. Footnotes document source of West German thinking in the area of correctional organization. Introduction to correction. It is the fourth pillar of the Philippine criminal justice system, which is tax, take custody, reform, and rehabilitate an offender through either institutional or non-institutional correction. The following are the functions of correction: A. Protection of society from dangerous criminals. B. Reformation and rehabilitation of offenders. C. Deterrence of crime resources, and D. Maintain an institution. Classification of inmates. Sentence prison are those who are convicted by final judgment of the crimes in which they charge. Detention prisoner are those who are detained for the violation of law or coordinate and have not been convicted. Simple recall definition of terms. Alcoholic. Those inmates who suffer from alcoholism, of those engaged in the improper compulsive intake of alcohol, which may result in physical, social, and behavior problems. Bisexual. Those inmates who have a sexual attraction or sexual behavior toward both males and females. Chief Custodial Officer. The personnel in charge in the overall supervision of all custodial functions. City jail, facility or a place of confinement for those inmates who are sentenced with a penalty from 1 day to 1 3 years imprisonment. Clustering of jails. The designation of municipal or city jail as a facility for one or more adjacent municipalities in order to maximize the utilization of personnel and other resources. The, the host city or municipality is named as a district to accommodate inmates from the municipalities clustered to it. Correctional administration. The study and practice of systematic management of jail and prison and other institutions charged with rehabilitation of criminal. District jail. A facility or a place confinement for inmates coming from a city or clustered municipality who are waiting or undergoing trial of serving sentence of 1 day to 3 years. Escape from in escape from inmates. Inmates who are likely and have the tendency of to escape from the jail facility. Galleys. Low, low, narrow, and single deck ship propelled by a sails, usually rowed by criminal, a type of ship used for transportation of criminal in the 16th century. Gold's Jail. The disciplination gave a pre-trial detention facility offered by English England during the 18th century. High-profile inmates in BJP jails. Those who are not necessarily charged with heinous crime but are prominent figures in society or public figures, those cases have drawn public interest. High-risk inmate BJP jails. Those considered as a highly dangerous or with high probability of escaping or being recused because of the gravity of the crimes they are accused of or have properly for being troublemakers and initiators of jail riots and disturbance and who require high degree of control and supervision. Hacks. These are former warship used to hack prisoners in the 18th and 19th century. These are abandoned warship converted into prisoners means of relieving congestion of prison. They were called as the floating hells. Illegal contraband are those are unlawful in themselves and not because of some extension, circumstance, dangerous drugs, weapon, potential weapons, explosive. Infirm inmates. Inmates who are physically or mentally weak for a prolonged period of time specific caused by age or illness. Institutional correction refers to the means of correcting an individual by placing him in a prison jail for his treatment until the ready for reintegration into the community. Jail ed. Inmate who requires less supervision other inmates, although he she may assign special tasks. She has no special privilege and is not allowed to work alone nor exercise by any authority over other inmates. Jailbreak. The escape from jail by the more than two inmates by the use of force, threat, violence, or deceit by breaching security barriers such as by scaling the perimeter. Jail escape. Any untoward or uncommon section events or conditions such as jailbreak, riot, noise barrage, stabbing, or assault upon personnel that occurs in jail and reported by any person which may or not have followed or dependent upon another action of grave or serious consequence such as escape, injury, death, fire, flood, earthquake, or other calamity which affects the jail. Jail wardens, persons charged with the overall operational and administrative control of jail. Mentally, those inmates who suffer from mental illness and are affected with or exhibiting irrationally and mental unsoundness. Municipal jail, a facility or place of confinement for those are sentenced with a penalty for attempt not institutional program. It provides mental health service to all prisoners within a Department of Correction. Prisoners receive service by qualified mental health professional and timely to system-based approach to correction. The operation and administrative of today correctional institution require contemporary management technique and the system approach offered possible solution to correctional problems. The system approach to correctional set the correctional institution as being composed of many interle- interrelated parts operating together to accomplish correctional goals. Applying the system approach requires systematic analysis of alternative course of action which might be taken to achieve specified objectives. System-based approach to correction. As one of the pillars of criminal justice system, the Philippine correctional pillar at present has two system-based approach. One is the institutional-based correction, and other is the non-institutional community-based system. Both systems are being implemented on the frag- fragmentary basis by the three departments of the executive branch of the government. First, DOG, B, DILG, C, PSWD. The Bureau of Correction, RA Republic Act 10575, the act strengthening the Bureau of Corrections, Bokor, and providing fines territory. Section 1, this is the mga like this.
Una, dapat nyo ito kwan daw.
Security and control of prisons. Prison security is crucial to maintaining staff and inmate safety in correctional settings. Security prisons include, but is not limited to, managing restrictive housing, populations classified and assessment, managing special population and security audit. Security audit training. The prison divisions of NIC seeking candidates for the security audit program in order to be considered for participation. Each agency must submit a three-member team, should be in supervisory role with the agency, and the the work of security audit may be described as a risk assessment, the functional of which to determine the likelihood significant security problem or vulnerability to injury, escape, disruption, or destruction of property due to inadequate policy, procedure, physical plant, and the performance risk assessment. Hence, security audit is the process of determining the risks remaining after all the normal management safeguards have been applied, including clarify of policy, procedure, post order training, physical plant accommodation, and daily supervisor activities. Prison staffing analysis. Capitalize on staff strengths and abilities by using the right people in the right position at the right times. This is the essence of staffing analysis and relies on decision makes competence to use their knowledge and understanding of basic staffing concept, post identification shapes needs, relief factors, critical staffing levels, and more accurately assess staffing needs for new existing facility and operations. The this 32 hours program explores several methodology for assessing current staffing levels and determining staffing requirements. By the end of the training, participants will be able to plan, modify, and implement staffing operations their own facility. The component of prison security. As prisoners become more crowded and internal problems arise, it is important to keep control and stability inside and outside of the prison. Although there are many security measures that can be put into place, it is hard to say whether it is the can be put into place. It is hard to say whether it is the physical design of the prison or the skilled officer that makes the difference in safety and security. Both play a major role in keeping things running smoothly inside and outside perimeters. The reason for the research is to analyze how each part of security helps maintain cohesiveness and what can be done in those cases where there is chaos. Care and treatment of prisons. The, the care of treatment in some prisons are close at non-existent in illness. Date of release. A prisoner shall be released by the Bureau of Prisons in the date of the expiration of the prisoner's term of imprisonment, less any time create toward the service of the prisoner's sentence as provided in subsection if the date for prisoner release falls in Saturday, Sunday, a legal holidays at the place of confinement. The prisons may released by the Bureau on the last preceding weekday. Credit towards service of sentence. Satisfactory behavior. A prisoner who is serving a term of imprisonment of more than 1 year other credit towards service of sentence for satisfactory behavior. A prisoner who is serving imprisonment or more than 1 year another term of imprisonment for the creation sentence of 54 days each year of the prisoner's sentence imposed by the court subject to determination by the Bureau of Prison that during that year the prisoner has displayed exemplary compliance with international disciplinary regulations. The Bureau determines that during that year the prisoners have no satisfactorily complied with such institutional regulation. The prisoner shall be received such lesser credit as the Bureau determines to be appropriate in awarding credit under the section. The Bureau shall be considered whether the prisoner during the relevant period has earned or is making satisfactory process toward earning high school diploma or an equivalent degree. Credit has not been earned may not later be granted. Credit for the last year of a term of imprisonment shall be credited on the first day of the last year of the term of imprisonment. Release custody. In general, the director of the Bureau of Prison shall not, to the extent practicable, ensure that a prisoner serving a term of imprisonment spend a portion of the final months of the term not to exceed 12 months under condition that will afford that prisoner a reasonable opportunity to adjust to and prepare for the reentry of the prisoner into community. Such condition may include a community correctional facility. Home Confinement Authority. The authority under the subsection may be used to place a prisoner in home confinement for the shorter of 10% of the term of imprisonment of the prisoner 6 months. The Bureau of Prison shall be to extent practicable place prisoner with lab recs, labels and lowers needs on home confinement for the maximum amount on time perimeter under the paragraph. Assistance. The United States Probation System shall, to the extent practicable, offense assistance to prisoners during release custody under this subsection. No limitation. Nothing in this subsection shall be conferred or limit, restrict the authority of the Director of the Bureau of Prisoners under Section 3621. 5. Reporting. Not later than 1 year after the date of the enactment of the Second Chance Act 2007 and every year there per and not later than 1 year after the date of the enactment of the Second Chance of 2007 and every year thereafter the Director of the Bureau of Prisons shall transmit to the Committee of the Judiciary of the Senate of the Committee on the Judiciary of the House of Representatives a report describing the Bureau utilization of community correction facilities. Each report under the paragraph shall set forth the number and percentage of federal prisoners placed in community correction facilities during the preceding year, the average length of such placement trends in such utilization, the reason some prisoners are not placed in community correction facilities, and number of prisoners not being placed in community correction facilities for each reason set forth, and any other information that may be useful that committee in determining if the Bureau of utilizing community correction facilities in a effective manner. Issuance of regulation. The Director of the Bureau of Prisoners shall issue regulation pursuant to this subsection not later than 90 days after the date of enhancement of the Second Chance Reauthorization Act of 2018, which shall ensure that placement in community correctional facility by the Bureau of Prisons conducted in manner consistent with sections 3621 of this title, determined on the individual basis, and c. of sufficient duration provided the greatest likelihood of successfully reintegration into the community. Allotment of the clothing funds and transportation upon the release of the prisoners. Of the expiration of prisoner term imprisonment, the Bureau of Prisons shall furnish the prisoner with first suitable clothing, an amount of money not more than $500 determined the director of to be consistent with the needs of the offender and the public interest, unless the director determines that the financial position of the offender is just that no sum should be punished. Good conduct time allowance, GCTA. Good conduct time allowance, or GCTA, is a sentence reduction provision afforded prisoners who show good behavior. It has been in existence since 1906. Act 1533 provided for the diminution of sentence imposed upon prisoner in consideration of good conduct and diligence. The good conduct time allowance bill, also known as Republic Act 10592, was approved by the Congress and was signed by the President Benigno Aquino III on May 29, 2013. The aftermath of release of convicts through GCTA subsequently led to investigation regarding the GCTA to the Bokor personnel involved in the controversy. A debate on the implementation of a law increased the good conduct time allowance GCTA of prisoner ensued after the earlier reported pending release of convicted rapist murder former Calauan Mayor Antonio Chances, the Justice Department, the Bureau of Correction, Bocor initially identified Chances as among the 11,000 inmates who may walk free from prisoners in the next 2 months. Republic Act 10592 was enacted in 2013, amending Republic Act 3815 or the revised penal code. The law increased the GCTA prisoners to be crediting service their sentence last June. Supreme Court ruled the law should apply retroactive. What is good conduct time allowance? Good conduct time allowance GCTA is a sentence reduction provision upward prisoners so good behavior. It has been the existence since 1906 Republic Act 1533 provided for the diminution of sentence imposed upon prisoner in insecration good conduct time and diligence. Citing at this 1908 decision that said the law serve double purpose encourage what is Republic Act 10592 and how does it work? In May 2013, the Presidential Benigno Aquino Noynoy 3 signed Republic Act 10592 amending Articles 29,900 prohibited acts subject to disciplinary action. Participations in illegal sexual acts, public disciplinary from pornographic materials, absence, language, disorder, or violence. Possession articles passing in agree to prison security or maligning or insulting any religious beliefs or group, giving gifts, selling, and engaging barter with the body, gambling, tolerating, and redeeming Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, Republic Act 6975. On January 2, 1991, the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology was created through Republic Act 6975 as a line of bureau under the Department of Interior and Local Government, the Jail Bureau of the undergraduate version of the Foreign Officer. Republic Act 6975 Chapter Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, an act establishing the Philippine National Police under a reorganized Department of the Interior and Local Government and for other report was. This is Republic Act 9263. Republic Act 1962, otherwise known as the Bureau of Fire Protection and Bureau of Jail Management, the Penology BJMP Professionalized Act of 2004 upgraded, among others, the qualification standard in the designation of the uniformed personnel is this agency. An act providing for the professionalization of the Bureau of the Fire Protection and the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, amending certain provision of Republic Act 69 providing funds. treatment of special needs or unsocial offenders. The State Department of Correctional and Bureau's other agencies work closely in the treatment process special needs offenders through progressive of community policy and community-based correction and community citizens interrogation. Custody, security, and control emergency plans, movement, and transfer of prisons. Custody, security, and controlling emergency jail management and penology is concerned with the human safekeeping and development of inmates. Effective custody ensures that inmates are well secured of the detention facility and properly escorted when attending the court hearing and other authorized lawful destination. This role first as effective safekeeping. The following guidelines should be strict observed jail custody, security, and control. Conduct your regular privilege of detained and sentenced prisons. Privileges are used as an incentive for good behavior and sanctioned bad behavior by inmates. Privileges are used to alleviate widespread prisoner dissent which can lead to riots. When the privileges can make incarceration more tolerable, it is important to remember that they are not the same constitutionally or legally guaranteed rights. Prisoners and detainees. Prisoners is anyone who is provided of personal person's liberty against his or her as special detainees are ordinarily had because they are unable to satisfy the financial requirements for bail bond. Important constitutional rights of pretrial detainees emerged 1970. What privilege do inmates in prison? Prisoner privilege vary according to state but most allow dissent to abiding inmates. There are something legal rights have as well, but in some case judge. This is the example of the regional rehabilitation centers for youth. Uh, General objectives: the render treatment and rehabilitation service to children in conflict with the CICL in the Cordillera administers regional care to enhance that physiological, emotional, and physical well-being. Specific objective: assist the CICL to rather treatment and rehabilitation service to children in conflict with the law. CIL Cordillera administration. Specific objective: assist the CICL in gaining insight into their behavior and attitude to help them become more productive and responsible individuals. Redirect their behavior and attitude to help them become more productive, responsible individuals. Provide opportunities to acquire social occupation skills and improve self-image. Provide activities that would help them develop trust on the prisoners. Programs and service. The PRCY provides at-home environment and group living arrangement that will balance organized and non-formal activities for CICL. Under the service, the PRCY rehabilitation team attends to the basic needs of the youth like food, and clothing, as well as referral for medical and dental care. The children in conflict with the law, CYCL, they are also given the opportunity to engage in income generating activities so that they would earn the save of future, especially treatment and intervention, counseling service, therapy, behavior modification, therapeutic community, support service and intervention, the Child and Youth Welfare Code. Abstract residential legacy, or otherwise known as the Child that Youth Welfare Code, as issued in December 1974, legacy defines special categories of youth, including local including offenders, and direct the Ministry of Social Service and Development, MSSD, to provide comprehensive service to assist in youth development. DITRO, also known as Conderned Row of the Police, placed in a prison that houses inmates awaiting execution after being convicted of capital crime and sentenced to death. The term abuse figurative separate unit condemned inmates exists. In the United States, after a person is found guilty of a capital offense in state where execution legacy penalty, that judge. The role of the role on the right of amparo. The role of the right amparo was first published in 2015. Since then, the Supreme Court of the Philippines has further explained that provision of the role on the right amparo has hence provided for enlightenment to the seminary gray area thereof a visit relevant existing. The role of the right amparo on the right amparo, the role on the right amparo, section 1 petition. The petition of the right of amparo is criminally available to any person whose right to life, liberty, and security of violated or threatened with various violation by the unlawful or commission on a public official, employee of private individual or entity. Section 1 petition. The petition for right of amparo remain available to any person whose right to life, liberty, and security of violated or threatened with violation in unlawful act or commissions on the public or employee or private individual entity. So this is my report. It's all about. Thank you.